What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I'm, as always, your host, Williamson. Today, we're not going to do an intro. There's only one point. I want to talk about self-sabotage. I think it's going to be an important one. Self-sabotage doesn't have to be some big thing, right? Also, I want to announce, finally, this is the end of the Redemption tour, right? The show is not going to change the title. It's what started the show. The show will only grow, but done with telling my sob stories and my woes of the past. It's time to grow and talk of success and future. And so this is it. The Redemption tour is over. I'm done telling all my, I've cleaned out my closet and, it's good. You guys get the point on all that, on all the past. And if you don't, go back and listen, whatever. Feel free to DM me with questions if you want spots filled in. But it's onward and upward from here, so I think that's important. And self-sabotage, right? So this was kind of, it all comes together because I found this circle of self-sabotage that I kept doing that I'm, actively working every single day to end. And let's just jump right into it. So the example that I find that makes the most sense to really express it how I want it to come across is, think about when you're a kid, right? When you're a child and you don't know what money is yet, you don't know what a college degree really means, even if you've heard of it, you don't know what it really could mean for your life. Even marriage and kids, you have no concept of that yet. Even the span of life, that one day your life will end, and the fact that you have relatives that are getting older, all these things you cannot even be bothered with, nor should you be, right? You look at a kid and what are they doing? They're playing. Kids are always wanting to play. Even when they're supposed to be learning or whatever, they want to play all the time. Or resting. And I know this, after watching, I had both my girls this weekend, so I was watching them, and all they want to do is play. And I looked at my oldest, and I looked at my youngest, and I watched how different they were in their personalities, but I watched how similar they were. In every game that they were playing, it was the importance of, hey, build this or create this. And whether it was drawing a picture or whether it was building blocks into a tower, what's always the goal? Well, rip the picture, cover it in shit, or knock the thing down. Why? Well, I colored it. I built it. It's over. It's done. We had our fun. Start over. Let's have that fun again. But what happens? You can't recreate that fun. It's over. You did it. You know what's coming. You know you're going to push it over at the end and do it again. And by the second time around, everyone involved is already checked out just a little. You already get my point. We do that same thing. But we do it with our goals. Right? We go, well, when I hit this, when I get here, when this person calls, or when whatever. And we forget how many times we've been there before, and the situation came through and it worked out, and then we just went right on to the next thing, the next day. We might have enjoyed ourselves and had a honeymoon phase, but we went right on to the next thing. I think for mental health, not all the time, but sometimes you have to, at least moments throughout your day, maybe 3 times a day, I'm not basing that off of meal structures or anything, but just a couple times a day, remind yourself to be grateful for where you stand now and how far you have come, and if you haven't, if there is no difference between those 2 times, well, there you go, there's your problem. But look at the growth that you've made, the progress that you've made up to this point, and be grateful for where that is, and then fill the rest of your day with trying to, succeed and move further. And then sometimes just to be present. Make sure that while you're spending time being grateful for what you have, spend time being very present too and going, hey, this is today. Like when I hung out with my kid this morning, my youngest, I took my oldest back last night, but I was hanging out with my youngest this morning, and I was just holding her. It was just cool. She was just letting me hold her, which rarely happens anymore. And instead of like, oh, here, let me put you down and get my phone, I just held my kid for a minute. And I was like, man, I know, because from watching her sister and how big her sister's getting, I said, I know we're not going to get this time for very long. You know, and that kind of stuff is what puts success and business and money, and it puts it all into perspective. It's like every day we're waiting for the phone to ring, or that opportunity to come through, or that deal that's going to come that's going to change everything. And guys, I hate to tell you, but that one thing is never going to come. And I can tell you that while never even coming close to that huge break, like life-changing thing. But I can tell you, even in the pursuit, at how low of a level I'm at, but like I can still tell you, it's not there. It's not one thing. You have to, people say it in different ways, like you have to love the hustle, you have to love the journey. But guys, what it really means is, you have to be present in every moment of your life and be there on purpose every minute. Be in a place you want to be with people you want to be with, and whether it be relaxing or working towards a goal of success or growth for your family, be doing whatever it is intentionally, right? And I've talked about this before. Be present in that moment and be present on purpose. Intentionally put away distractions and intentionally don't worry about, you're purposely, that's why I meditate to practice how to do this, because it is you need practice. It's hard to just shut stuff out, especially when other things are coming in. So I have to take time every morning to step away and get away, so that way I can do it out there and hopefully be better for my family. But you have to step away and just realize that, hey, my kid is only going to be that age, for that long. She'll never be that old again where I had that chance to hold her. What if I had to put her down and just went on about my morning, So it's my goal to try to be present, more present in moments in my life, so that way I don't miss stuff like that. Because again, no matter what the biggest number that ends up in my bank account in my life, it'll never beat that moment for me. That's just for me. I will take that moment, and there's a moment that happened this weekend where my kids were being very territorial of me. They're very much aware right now of, like, my oldest, who doesn't live with me all the time. I only get her 1 weekend a month right now. So she's very aware that I have my youngest daughter who is with me every day, and I think she's kind of jealous of that. So every time one of them was sitting on my lap, the other made sure they were right there to go, hey, that's my dad too. Like, and it was cool, but there was a moment that was captured where they were both sitting on my lap, and I was like trying to hold them as they were overflowing on my lap. And it was a cool moment, but at the same time, I sensed the power struggle between my daughters, and it was interesting for sure. Anywho, the levels of self-sabotage is like that. So allowing yourself to be in the moment, but realizing that we're constantly trying to not, because we would both be right from our perspectives, right? It's funny. I used to sit around and I used to ask life, God, the powers that be, just give me peace, give me a time where I don't hurt and people aren't trying to destroy a part of my life, and where I can truly sit back and go, you know what? My family's healthy, our needs are met, and I haven't done anything that's going to cause my life to self-destruct. That's all my life is. That's all I want it to be. That's my peace. Just take care of my family. Have nothing in my life that's coming up to bite me in the ass because of some self-destructive behavior I've gotten myself into. Or self-sabotaging I've done because I got scared that I was too close to actually doing something with my life that I had to mess it up before, whatever. I felt like I would be exposed as a fraud or whatever. My self-critical, self-doubt thinking is. Guys, on this Monday, the most important thing I can motivate you with is just you have to go with what feels right. You know, if you're listening to this show, I truly believe you know what's right and wrong. You're looking for better. You're here because you hope that I'm going to give you some piece of knowledge that's going to take you through your day that you'll be able to use that will somehow improve the way you feel and the way you look at life. And I hope that same thing. But you have to do it on purpose. You have to listen, you have to perceive, you have to take what I'm saying and how I apply it to my life, and then you have to try and see what works for your life and get rid of the parts of what I'm saying that don't work for your life. Or the parts of me, and from everything from like the way the studio looks, it all affects you. I'm guilty of it. We watch shows and we go, oh man, that's cool, I gotta get one of those. It's important to you. Why are you here? Right? It's all very important. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. This is a very short episode this week. I think it's good. I hope it's packed full of nuggets for you to chew on. Everyone loves nuggets. And yeah, it's really cool. Guys, go check out Manscaped. They are bringing you this episode. Code ROAD20 saves you 20%, gives you free shipping. They do have the Lawnmower 3.0 coming out, which means the Perfect Package 3.0 will be out. That is January 31st. You'll be able to buy that, guys. Go use code ROAD20 so that way you get that skin-safe technology where anytime you're trimming, there's no snagging, there's no snicking, there's no nothing because you got the Perfect Package, which means you got the body skin-safe technology of you'll have the new razor when you get the new one, the Lawnmower 3.0. Then, once you're done shaving, you got the crop preserver, the lotion, put it on, control the pH, signature Manscaped smell. Then, you go to work, you go to the gym, whatever. You start smelling a little musty. Crop reviver, I'm good. Now, bang, home, have dinner with the wife, the kids, have a little slow dance with the wife in the kitchen while you're making dinner. You still smell good. Because you hit that the reviver at the end of the day, right? What happens? You get in the shower with your nasty butt, and they got the hair and body wash to finish it off. Now you go to bed smelling like the constant prince you've smelled like all day while you've been being a killer guy. Not only are you bringing quality to the table, you're bringing smell good substance. Guys, manscaped.com, ROAD20.